And so I would love to know, just to start out, Megan, this is a big question as well, but what is your definition of kindness? What comes to your mind when you hear that word?
I was thinking a lot about this as we were talking about talking. I literally had to look it up. I had to, because
Mm,
I was like, well, I mean, I know the feeling of kindness, but like, what's like the definition? Um, and it boils down to showing generosity, consideration, and support to others, right?
mm,
And hopefully it's in complete disregard to any differences that you have towards that person,
mm.
right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
those three things: generosity, support, and consideration.
Do you have a favorite way that you show kindness to people? I know people talk a lot about love languages, but I guess your kindness language, are you like a gift? I know you love Christmas. In my research, that came up
Yeah.
quite often. So are you like a gift person? What's your favorite way to show kindness?
If I'm thinking something nice about someone, I have to tell them. I have to get it
Mm,
out of my brain and into theirs.
mm.
It's like it's kind of wasted in my head. So I immediately have to shower that person, with a phone call, a text, an email,
Mm,
something, a message, telling them that they're on my mind and I appreciate them for this or I admire them for that. Because if I let too much time pass,
mhm.
they'll never hear it, and again, what good is it just rattling around in my brain?
As you look at your career, do you feel like there's an act of kindness that somebody did to you that changed your trajectory or kind of set you on the path that you ultimately went on? I'm hoping there was a lot of them, but any,
Oh yeah, no,
story
I
you'd
mean
want to
there were a
share.
lot, but the first real big one was the night that I made my Broadway debut in Wicked. Um, I was a standby, and so I had a couple hours notice, and I ran to the theater, and I was freaking out. I was sitting in Jennifer Laura Thompson's dressing room, just freaking out. And Idina came in because this is how
Mm,
long ago this was. This was, I guess,
the
19
beginning.
years ago now.
Wow.
Almost 19 years ago, I went into that show. It's so crazy.
Wow.
And I was sitting in Jen's dressing room, and Adina came in, and she was like, "Is there anything you want to go over? Anything you want to talk about?" And I was freaking out. I was like,
You're like everything.
and clearly saw that, and she said, "You know what? Let's just go out there and make this show our own tonight."
Mm,
And it's such a simple. It sounds so simple, and it sounds like, yeah, of course, why wouldn't she say that? But in reality, she had just won her Tony for this. And even if she hadn't won a Tony or even been nominated or anything like that, she
mm,
could have come in there and said, "Hey, at this point, I need you to be standing here. I need you to say this like this. We need to go
mm,
through this and blah, 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 blah. And you need to do this a certain way. And she would have been completely within her right to do so.
mm,
But instead, she gave me this incredible gift. And that was to just breathe and play with her
mm,
and it was a night I will never forget because of that. It was so incredibly generous of her to um to create something new with me, within the
mm,
content. Of course, it's the same script, it's the same, but like different people bring something different to it, and she did not shy away from that. She let me do my thing, and we figured it out together, and by the end it felt like we'd done something completely new,
mm.
you know? Yeah, and I'll just never forget that.
What have you learned along the way of balancing the arts and the personal? It's such a tough thing.
I've learned that it all boils down to like if you do choose to spend your life with someone, that's everything.
Mm,
Like everything. The only reason that I can have a family and a career is because of the partner that I have.
mm,
Brian Gallagher is like the greatest human on the planet, and
mhm,
it is not easy, but because he's wonderful, we figure it out one day at a time.
mm.
It's not something that we have figured out every day. We're figuring it out. It just
Yeah.
keeps changing. So, but the most important thing is to have a person that you can go through I
Mm.
can navigate the toughness with.
I would love if we could just end our time together by you sharing a tangible kindness or wellness tip that you would like for listeners to incorporate into their day. So, like a tangible action that you think people can do to kind of just spread joy. It could be in the arts or just in general.
Do you know what I just recently, I mean, it would be great if everybody just put their phones down. Just
Yeah,
put
I
them
agree.
down.
Yeah.
Um, uh, uh,
Though I have been
but
live on
more
Instagram knowledge.
realistically, I recently started, like at the beginning of my day. I'm not like journaling or anything, but I do have like a notebook, that I write down what I need to do every day and stuff like that. So, because
Mm,
I need to write things down. Uh, and I wake up a little bit earlier than everybody else, and I sit down and I write down three affirmations, um, and uh, and my intention for the day,
mm,
and uh, and I write down three people or things that I'm grateful for,
mm.
um,
I
and
love that.
that. It sounds like, oh God, that's homework. It's a lot of stuff to do. It doesn't take long. Doesn't take long, but like taking that like 5 minutes out of the beginning of your day to just to kind of focus your mind
Mm,
on gratitude and empowerment and kindness, and self-love, has made a difference for me.
mm,
Um, yeah, I don't know if that would work for everyone, but
mhm.
yeah, it's been helpful.